Well, how did you did seem withdrawn? Like, you tried to talk to you, but everybody was kind of like on eggshells in the sense of like, how you doing? How you handling it?
Yeah.
What was that like, seeing us be that way towards you?
It bothered me. My community is what gave me the life to even go after this.
Yes.
They should benefit from it. I'm not a proponent of we giving our talent to other communities. That's a whole nother episode. But I'm not a proponent of, if I'm so smart, and all my teachers been black the whole time, you gonna tell me when I get to a certain point a black woman can't teach me nothing?
Fair.
That don't make sense to me.
I agree.
You're not gonna tell me that boy's fast and all his coaches been black, but once he go D1, a black man can't teach him. Who the hell are you?
That's true.
There are great people in this community that need this service. Just because you can't cope with who you are and you got your insecurities, that ain't got nothing to do with Sean, that don't got nothing to do with Sweetgrass Dental, that don't got nothing to do with the Mitchell brothers. I'm gonna flip on you.
Did you feel spiritually guided to make these decisions you were making at that time? Or was it just solely like, I know what corporate dentistry is, I ain't going back to this, I'd rather follow my sword? Because one person might hear pride, whereas the other person might hear faith.
Oh, it was.
So I'm trying to figure out what was the vehicle that was.
My pride would not allow me to be subjugated like that. When I have a community that loves me, my faith allowed me to say that this community loves me. It's going to take care of me.
Welcome to Sunday Dinner Podcast, and I'm your host, Trevor.
I'm Dr. Mitch. How y'all doing?
Yeah, man. So how's it been going, Sean, on the second Sunday?
It's been going good, man. How you doing, man?
All is well, man. All is well.
Right.
I wanted to, always wanted to ask you this, but I didn't know how to pick your brain at the time.
Okay.
Right? So let's back up. 2020.
All right.
January 2020, you launched Sweetgrass Dental.
Yeah.
Then all of us collectively at the same weekend launched Sweetgrass Clothing.
Yes.
March of 2020, pandemic hit.
Yes.
So we just opened a business.
Yeah.
And we've been through the build out and going to the banks. I was there with you through all of that shit. Anticipating for patients to come in. Mm-hmm. Now everything has stopped. The world has shut down. Mm-hmm. What was that like? How did you?
It was. I would say that it got pretty grim for me, but at the same time, it got pretty. I figured out what my why was.
So, all right, Nova was born
in that July.
Well, how did you did seem withdrawn? Like, you tried to talk to you, but everybody was kind of like on eggshells in the sense of like, how you doing? How you handling it?
Yeah.
What was that like, seeing us be that way towards you?
It bothered me.
But did you understand why people were kind of like? Well, for myself, I was directly asking you, but like,
yeah, you was right there.
But did you feel like, what would you have wanted from somebody? How did support look like at that time?
Support looked like you seeing what I'm going through and actually putting yourself next to me to fight it, not what am I going to do about it. The reason why I was withdrawn was because if you're gonna watch me struggle, I'm not putting on a show for you. I'm actually going through something right now.
Do you think people know how to, I would say, help people in time of need? Do you think people really know how to?
Yes, I just think a lot of people choose not to.
So what was going through your head daily, right?
Oh.
So you not,
I can tell you,
patients not coming in, but you need.
That wasn't the issue. I think people I think that what's misconstrued is it's not that patients weren't coming in. There was a government mandate that patients could not be seen in a dental facility unless it was for an emergency.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So you can't do cleanings. You can't do routine stuff. So it appears to everybody, people not. No, it's a mandate. Mm-hmm. I can't schedule this. I can't do this. The only thing I can do is emergencies, and I don't have and I've started in January, so I don't have the patient base to even handle emergencies. So I got to catch what gets on the phone. So when that time came, I did a lot of sitting around figuring out how I was going to combat the issue, because I had employees at the time. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I had working capital, but I had employees. But my working capital is being drained because it's not being supplemented by doing procedures. So when I'm in that mode, to myself, I'm way more reserved, because everyone spectating is only watching how I'm reacting. They're not actually getting in there and being like, what do we need to do about these patients? What do we need to do to find emergencies? What do we need to do this, that, the third? What do we need to do to supplement income? They're not asking me that. They're just sitting there watching me like, I wonder what he's going to do next. Is he okay? Is he mentally going through something? It's like,
well,
yeah, bruh.
When
I am.
That time period taught you what?
The biggest thing that time period taught me was I'm not gonna fail. It took me once that time period started, I went into a survival mode. A self-inflicted survival mode.
Self-inflicted.
Yes.
Explain.
I went. So I have a wife, I have a daughter that's on the way. So in my mind, and I just have a practice that I just opened up. In my mind, when the pandemic came, I'm going to lose all of this. And now I have a wife that believes in everything, but her body is going through metamorphosis and changes through pregnancy. I don't want to add any stress to her. So anything that I'm going through in the office, I am not taking home. I cannot take it home. She cannot feel it because.
So how does that look?
Oh, so it's like when I'm done with my patients, I sit in the office for 2-3 hours, and I'm going. And I'm pacing up and down the hallway.
I remember that.
Thinking about what I need to do next. Yeah, I'm figuring out my next move. I'm figuring out, hey, I need to go at it this way. I need to try this thing. What if I hit up this thing? What if I try this thing? What if I do this thing? And I'm going and I'm milling them over. And when I get in the car, I'm doing my last bit of milling over. When I pull up to the house and I slap that mug in park and I cut that car off, that's it. It's done. When I get in the house,
But you know what was interesting? Yeah. That I think that most people, you were still able to, if you wanted to, go get a contract somewhere.
Yeah. I could
have made great money during the pandemic, but you know, the office itself wouldn't have probably been making nothing because of the government mandate, but you still was able to. But why you said no to that? Because what the guarantee of that you had at the moment,
the guarantee of income did not equate to the guarantee of peace. The money is never worth it, bro.
So peace is important.
It's way more important than the bread. You got to make a lot of bread to know that, though. You see, when you see 175 or 200 on a contract, most people think your life is going to change. No, it comes with responsibility. It comes with headache. It comes with most people don't understand.
I know what you're saying.
Working in dentistry is 86%, 82 to 86% white male. So white males dominate dentistry. The other percentage is everybody else, including white women. So everybody else is that other 14, 15% of the whole thing. Now, when you work in corporate as a black dentist, when people sign up to come to this office, their mind is, I'm going to see a white man. Even the assistant, the new doc that just came in, whose name is Dr. Mitchell, that's a white man. Hey, front desk girl. The front desk girl works at a dental office. the only dental offices she ever worked at were ran by white men. Here I come. And not that I throw them off so much by my demeanor, by my character,
I can relate,
by who I am. Now, I'm not going to say that I had a terrible time. I'm not going to say that, because I met some of the greatest people in those settings. Mm-hmm. But overall, when it came down to me, what my overall goal was to take this skill back to my community. That was my goal from the time that I learned the skill. I'm going to go back home and I'm going to do this on my people and make sure my people are straight. That was Sean's goal. Everybody knew that. When it was time for me to leave the corporate setting, I had been at my third company dealing with a bunch of the same microaggression issues from the last two companies. The same small things of racism from the last two companies. Like how long do you want to sit into an office where if a patient finds out that you're a black man, she doesn't want to be seen by you? Mm-hmm. Like how long do you sit through that when you have an entire population of black people that will wait outside in the line to see you? Like how do I feel about myself? I don't got to take this. My people love me.
When that happened, how did you feel?
Nothing. My people love me. See, this is the thing. The reason why I'm saying is I know what I left, because I know that dotted that number that comes on that paper comes with that. I don't want that. I don't need that. I can make 10 times more of that in my community. But with the same skills and as I am as a sneakerhead.
So with the I saw it as like a blind faith thing, right? Like,
yeah. So
a lot of people talk about
I operate off of blind faith. That's my mantra in life. You have to have blind faith. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for, and the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen.
Would you consider yourself religious?
I am not religious,
but
the religion is a set of rules and guidelines that the humans go by for whatever spiritual principles.
Reason being asking that did you feel spiritually guided to make these decisions you were making at that time? Or was it just solely I know what corporate dentistry is, I ain't going back to this, I'd rather follow my sword? Because one person might hear pride, whereas the other person might hear faith.
Oh, it was. So
I'm trying to figure out what was the vehicle that was.
My pride would not allow me to be subjugated like that. When I have a community that loves me, my faith allowed me to say that this community loves me. It's going to take care of me. So when I'm sitting in the middle of a pandemic, I'm trying to figure out how do I circumvent these rules that they put on my practice to make it still thrive. And I figured it out, and it was full mouth rehab.
So now we're 5 years later.
Yeah.
Things going good, doing good. But in the midst of the 5 years, what have you learned about entrepreneurship? Because also in that time, I'll just build real quick. Also in that time, you can remember all the YouTubians. It was the narrative of entrepreneurship. Go work for yourself. Go jump out on a limb.
Yeah,
which I don't have a problem with that understanding. But a lot of people who started in 2020 doing that ain't doing that no more. And a lot of people was regretting that decisions that they were making back then during that time.
That's fact.
But then some people had no choice because they just was laid off and they had no job.
Yeah.
But through going through the pandemic, millions of employees, because I'm seeing it all, to having a successful, thriving dentist office that people travel from Florida to Texas to Georgia to just sit in your chair.
Yeah.
One would say, it was worth it. But I saw the day to day. I saw the day to day from 2020 to where we at now. Would you recommend someone for entrepreneurship?
Would I recommend somebody to do entrepreneurship?
Yeah, because the first question is, would you learn from entrepreneurship? And would you recommend someone to do this?
All right. Let's do the first question. What did I learn from entrepreneurship? what I learned is this is best approached in groups.
Interesting.
Yes, I really think that if I had,
So
I think what makes Sweetgrass clothing thrive is the fact that we do it all together.
yeah.
It's the fact that when you get a sale, the dude who's bought it will be like, I know your brother Kev. Oh, where? That's what's up. Oh, me and Trev went to school together. That's what's up. Now, each of these names on that order list are like people that are actually attached to us who support us, may not know me personally, but support us, and it made the business thrive. Way less headache over there. It was way less headache on in the clothing brand space, and that's much harder to grow.
Yeah.
It's way harder to grow. A dental office is way easier to grow than a thing.
But not to cut you,
You straight.
but that sustained you.
The clothing sustained me. The clothing sustained me through all of that pandemic and all of that stuff. The clothing still to pay rent.
So you think entrepreneurship, if someone's saying I want to open up, I don't know, a corner store, you think he should do it with a group of guys?
No, I think the mentality of entrepreneurship, as far as like us as a black community, we have a unique perspective on entrepreneurship because we have to have a unique perspective because we're subjugated and we're oppressed people. We can't approach it like other groups of people. What I think is what we need to start doing is looking at it as a group endeavor that actually has a benefit to the community instead of a benefit to all these other people who don't care about our community. So I think what made Sweetgrass Dental survive was the fact that it was by us, for us, in a place where there was an actual need. Everybody has teeth. There's so much people that need full mouth rehab that I can't sustain the amount of patients that need that type of work. I can't even keep seeing people within the month or two, and people complain about it all the time. But it's like if I had another doctor that had the same mind state as me, I would be able to see you quicker. It's just me though. So
Good problems.
Good in the fact of financially.
Yeah.
Good in the fact of it builds your brand and it builds you to this esteem. But as far as like addressing the disparities in healthcare, it's horrible. It's not a good thing. So I wouldn't recommend entrepreneurship to the average person. Let's start there. I would not recommend it. I would vet you as a human being to even see if you even prepared to do entrepreneurship, because it's not for everybody. And the fact that everybody just goes at it and thinks that I can just do this and this, that, and the third, it's like, no. Are you prepared? You get paid every 2 weeks? Are you used to getting paid every 2 weeks? What happens if you don't get paid for 3 months? Do you have enough money to sustain you? How much does it cost to be you for a month?
The reality of
it is I'm taking 2, 3, 4 months off of paying myself to pay my employees and to keep the lights on.
Which I've seen.
But I'm not paying myself through the teeth. But I'm living. I have something else I can live off of, right? So, and then I have savings and stuff like that. But you know how I feel about money. It's going to come and go. So then when you get back up, and then now you up again, and now you're looking like you're thriving. What I did was, instead of me putting the money in my pocket and showing it to the world, I just immediately injected it back into the business. That's why we doubled in growth. So I put all of my extra money and all of my profits back into the business, and I grew it from the 2 chairs to the 5 chairs. So my whole thing was growth, and then from there I can cruise, meaning I can start doing the work and enjoying the fruits of it. But it's going to take sacrifice on the front end. So most people in entrepreneurship are not looking for that front end sacrifice, and they don't want that front end sacrifice but to be for so long. You can't put a time limit on it. It could last 6 months, it could last 6 days, or it can last 6 years. And you have to be in it for the long haul. So I committed to entrepreneurship. I committed to making my business successful. And what comes with that is a lot of sacrifices that most people aren't willing to make.
And the biggest sacrifices you think from an entrepreneur that people have to make is what?
The biggest sacrifice is financial. The second biggest sacrifice is psychological.
Explain psychological.
Psychological sacrifices, your perception in your community is going to be changed and challenged based off of how people perceive you are doing as a person.
But the perception they're gleaning from is what you're showing them.
No, the perception that they're gleaning from is their interpretation of what I'm showing them.
So you wouldn't necessarily recommend entrepreneurship, but you would also be like, I think we need more businesses in our community.
No. We have to have more businesses in our community.
But you don't recommend,
have no community.
So I'm trying to figure out where's the silver lining in. You wouldn't recommend it to the average person.
I see what you're saying.
But we need more businesses.
Yes, we need more businesses. All right, so I would not recommend entrepreneurship to everyone, but we need more businesses. But we need to have an entrepreneurial class or grooming for those who are interested in it. So it's not for everybody, but the people that it's for, like everybody can't be a dentist. But the 10 people who can be a dentist, they need a certain type of training. They need a certain type of training so that they can be a competent dentist, just like a surgeon, just like a nurse.
But outside of that, like say I want to open my cupcake stand. Yeah,
your cupcake stand is more than just a cupcake. You have to learn, you have to know that. Like you have to train your entrepreneurial class on what they're actually getting into and why they're getting into it, so they're not getting into it off the off chance of I just want everybody to taste my cupcakes. Because at the end of the day, that sugar costs money, them cupcakes cost money. How do you set your prices? How do you brand it? How do you market it? Now, a business is going to need someone who does their marketing, which is someone else's business. Now, if this girl who does her marketing is basing her marketing off of outside of the community, and she's trying to go get them checks from outside of the community, she's going to be hard pressed to go help the girl with her cupcakes because she doesn't see any monetary gain that she can actually get from her. But we have to build up our own community, like rising tides rise all boats. We have to rise our own community in the entrepreneurial mind state in order for us to thrive as a people, independent of us having to leave the community to find jobs.
So you think, because they would be like, majority of businesses fail in the first 5 years.
Yes.
And that number gets even lower when you talk about black businesses.
Yeah.
And you think the reason being of that is because of just not knowing business, knowing the little nuances that come with having being an entrepreneur and all that.
Yes, I did not know a lot about business when I started my business.
Yeah, we kind of had, like you said, we kind of had like a team and boots on the ground, and we could understand it.
We had all of that, and I still had a way big, huge gaps in my understanding of business. Huge gaps.
The gaps were what?
Just the understanding of the small nuances that actually keep businesses open, and the understanding of certain things, like for instance, how someone picks up the phone. All right. Customer service, but you got to understand, it's a reason why a lot of companies have scripts, because you not thinking you gonna answer the phone like this, but that girl you just hired does not have no interpretation of that type of etiquette. How you send an email, how you format your email. Now, I know how to format an email. I know how to create an email. I know how to put a signature at the bottom. I know how to start with a salutation and end with one. I know how to structure one. These schools aren't teaching these kids how to do that. I'm hiring people that is like, the oral surgeon is asking, can you email me this x-ray for this patient that you referred me? And she doesn't know how to make a body. She doesn't know how to say it. She doesn't do good morning. She doesn't do this. And she doesn't even know how to do the structure of that. And I'm like, oh snap. I gotta train that. So what else I gotta train? And then you gotta literally build your entire thing brick by brick by brick on the smallest instances to keep you in business, because it's like, well, I'm in a business that's expensive. So when someone is looking to give you $1,000 or more, they ain't trying to hear nothing about I don't know how to send no email. They're not trying to hear nothing about I don't know what's going on. They're not trying to hear nothing about I'll figure it out. These people, this is the people's hard-earned money. You need to be on point when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And you start to lose it if you don't even know the lingo, or you don't even know where the gaps are. I didn't know where all the gaps were. I was so blown back by the gaps in my information. I just thought I hang my shingle, patients come in, I figure out as I go along. When I started to do that, I realized that this is a fire over here. I got to put this fire out. There's a fire over here. They got to put this one out. And while I'm putting out these fires, I'm sitting there like, me personally as Sean, I'm competent in this, but who I'm bringing around me is not.
So what do you think? What do you think that, from you being a business owner?
Mm-hmm.
I understand it from being director and all that stuff.
Mm.
But you being a business, what do you think employees mind missing? What do you think they're missing? The disconnect is with the owner.
The disconnect.
Because reason why I ask that question is because even in my industry, the turnover rates are so high, and it's like a small business like yourself. Your turnover rate shouldn't have been as high as it is from my vantage point. But so I'm trying to like, all right, what you think is a disconnect with employees?
If I'm gonna give you the short answer is most of them don't care about the success of the business they're working for. They only care about what they getting from it. For instance, if you ever go to a McDonald's and the girl behind the cash register has an attitude and just mad. She doesn't care about the overall well-being of this entire establishment based off of something that happened to her. So she's going to react to you based off of whatever happened to her. But the lady who combats that emotion and says, well, give me my money back. The girl at the cash register does not care about that money going back because it doesn't affect her.
Because she's going to still get her.
She's going to still get her pay. The manager might care about that. Because that affects him. So what I learned about employees is if it doesn't directly affect them, you have to make them care about it. And most of the time when you have to make them care about it, it has to be a checks and balances system. They respect what you inspect. So you have to create a system that forces people to respect the small things that keep your business going. And the people who show that they don't respect it at all, you have to get rid of them as soon as possible.
So you kind of got a rule with an iron fist kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to hire slow, fire fast. So that's a part of it. I think the biggest disconnect from employees to owners is usually when you're working for a Fortune 500 company, you're so disconnected from the owner that you don't have to care about anything like that. But if you're working in a dental office and I'm the owner dentist, my office is right over there. You see, my wife just walked in here with my 2 kids. You just got into it with a patient for no reason because you and your boyfriend just got into it at home. And now he's going to leave. When he leaves, he's going to tell people about you, not me. So he wasn't able to even get to me to see how good my work was. He met you.
Yep.
You don't even care about that because in 2 weeks, your phone going to vibrate and you're going to have a direct deposit. Me on the owner end, I know how much is on that direct deposit. I set up that whole direct deposit. And I know that it's less money to go towards less money on my end. Your money is the same. It's less money on my end because you got into that argument with that person. And that's where usually the disconnect is. It's usually, well, it doesn't affect me personally, therefore I don't care about the overall thing. You have to work your way through employees like that because not every employee is like that. There are great people that will understand the overall big picture and work towards it. But you have to go through the attrition of finding those people. And that's what's the entrepreneurial journey is. In
finding those people, do you stick with just your people?
To be honest with you,
or are you willing to open up and say
nobody outside of my people is willing to work for me? If you want to keep it a buck, I've interviewed 4 or 5 people outside the community, from Caucasians to Asians, like, and everything in between. Every last one of them, first day on the job, no call, no show. All of them.
What made you give them a shot?
Because I thought that the game was, I thought you needed a job. You applied for it. I interviewed you for it. We had a good rapport. It seemed like everything was going well. I think you seemed like you were eager for the job. I thought you were good. I thought you were qualified. I thought we were in a meritocracy. But a lot of people see me as their boss. They will forego the check for the optics.
Oh yeah.
So they're not trying to work for me.
100%.
When they see me and how I carry it, you the doctor and you said the third, same thing I left corporate for.
But how do you carry it when it's your own that acts like that?
Oh, get rid of them and then find the owner that needs to be that likes being here.
But it's not something you take personal.
Bro, I don't care about you. The one that need the job. I'm a doctor. What are you talking about? I'm offering you a job where, bro, everybody who works for me knows that I don't do stress. I don't do no crazy stuff. I don't go back and forth about nothing. I'm gonna pay you what you ask for. Most of my employees give me their number. You $25 an hour. Oh, you want $25 an hour? I'll give you that. I'm not even going to negotiate you down or nothing. You want 27? Here, 27. I'm gonna give you your number. I'm not going to bother you. I'm just going to ask you to do what you're asked of, and then this, that, and the third. Their personality comes in, where some people just don't like peace. Some people don't. I've had employees that's like, there ain't no drama in here. I think it needs to be drama in here. Yeah. And it's just like, why did you just create drama just now? Because you just can't just be get out of here, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make this very uncomfortable for you. So everybody know I got a switch. I tell people all the time, I'm the nicest guy that you ever know.
Likewise, same here.
When I switch, the switch ain't never going off
ever. I agree with that. We might need to work on that.
You do not. You need to protect. You need to protect your. I invested my life into this.
True.
I am not. This is not something that's no fly by night, and I'm just doing this on some haphazard shit. And I decided I didn't go to school for 15 years to move back home and build something in my community to go back and forth with you. Who the hell are you?
That's true.
There are great people in this community that need this service. Just because you can't cope with who you are and you got your insecurities, that ain't got nothing to do with Sean, that don't got nothing to do with Sweetgrass Dental, that don't got nothing to do with the Mitchell brothers. I'm gonna flip on you, and you're an enemy to me of the community, and I'm gonna get you away from the community.
Fair. I 100% agree with that. Let me hear your perspective on money.
Nah, money is a tool.
Okay, when you have your ups, mm-hmm. which I know you have, mm-hmm. when you have your downs, mm-hmm. which I know you have, mm-hmm. I don't see no switch in your demeanor or behavior with it, even when I'm like, oh, we didn't make budget this month. Mm-hmm. But do you get happy when you win?
No.
Why is that? Why are you not? Because me, if I win, I'm sure I win.
Yeah, but you got.
We had a good month.
Success and failures are two ends of the same blade. It's a double-edged sword, and if you're going to celebrate one, you have to celebrate the other.
I agree. You have to enjoy all of it.
You have to understand what they all are there for. They're lessons. Sometimes the lesson went well. Sometimes you didn't learn it. It's all lessons. So when I sit here and I'm like, what made this month go well? The reason why I can't just jump up and down is because tax refunds just came out. So am I going to jump up and down over something that people are going to spend up all of that tax refund money and then next month they're not going to have that? I'm going to fall off next month. No, I need to be like, it's tax refunds. Okay. It was
honest tax assessment. And that's what you do. You give yourself so you live in reality.
You have to. You have to live in the reality of the moment and plan, basically make an educated prediction on what the next moment is going to be, and that's how you ensure your success. But sometimes you're wrong about the next moment. A lot of times I'm wrong about the next moment. But I learn why I was wrong. I try to learn what did I go wrong about that. And I usually do a plan 110% so that I don't have a what if. I don't do what ifs. So I'll do it 110% with all my energy. If it fails, I know why it failed. Instead of me listening to other people and trying to get their perspective on it and trying to do what they're telling me to do, I need to know why it failed. so that I can make the necessary changes and go at it like that. But money to me is a tool. And this is why you can't celebrate it. It's not worth life. It's not worth relationships. It's not worth more than people. So I don't put it over people. I don't put it over my relationships. And I for damn sure don't put it near family. Now, family might get on me because I don't willingly give money, but they severed the relationship, not me. I don't have a problem with, I can't tell people no. I don't have a problem telling people no. You have to tell people no, because you're not accumulating this money for it to be squandered, or the next generation is going to be in the same position that we were in. The goal is to have the next generation in a better position than we were in. Mm-hmm. Now, your cousin can't get right, and he doesn't want to get right, and he doesn't have the tools to get right, and he just rather get it from you. He can be mad at me for that. I'm okay with that. But money is a tool. You use it like a hammer or a wrench. Hey, going to the store, the shoe costs $129. I need the tool of money to get that shoe. What do? Put my card on, beep, the shoe is mine. That's what it's for. Now, some people look at that situation and interpret it different, but that's what I use it for. So it's not, what do I need to do to get my office to double in size? I have to take the money that I have accumulated from my office, and I have to use it as a tool to change that lump sum of money into a chair for this room, into a computer, into a nitrous stand, and do that 3 different times. It's just a tool. Hey, how do you get full mouth rehab and do it better? You have to get a 3D printer. A 3D printer costs about $9,000. Do I have $9,000? Sure, I do. Use the tool.
So look.
So it's just to let you know, I use it as money as a tool. So the use of it and the depletion of it doesn't affect my psychological part of it.
How do you
of me?
So like your ups and downs with money, your ups and downs with employees, surviving the pandemic, all of that, right? My question I'm asking is, like, everyone has a why.
Well, most people have.
Well, yeah, most people say they have a why, right? But how did Sean created his why and stuck with his why? Like I kind of want you to like tell the people, like, all right, after getting what you got, you said, I want to come home.
I started by coming home.
Yes, but what makes you not lose sight of the vision?
Because the vision, all right, so since I was a very young boy, I had very intense visions in my life. I think that God put a lot of stuff on me, and he showed me a lot of things. And with the things...
What did he show?
He showed you... all right, how do I explain this? All right. I'm all right. The reason why I'm good with a camera is because I get visions on images, and I just recreate the image, right? But I get visions on images all the time. This is what built my confidence in life. So I'm not going at things without knowing. Like, I know I'm going to be a doctor. So I knew I was getting visions as a young age about the things that I would accomplish. And as I started to accomplish them, they gave me the confidence to go after the next goal to accomplish them.
But if everybody doesn't get a vision, then how's that faith?
If everybody doesn't get a vision, like, how is that faith? I
didn't have no vision of what I wanted to be or how I was going to turn out and all that shit.
Yeah, but I think you got a different skill.
Yeah.
So I think God blesses each of his children with different things, and you need to use the thing he blessed you with to get you where you need to go.
Got it.
Some people got a green thumb. I don't have a green thumb.
But your vision, you saw this already.
I saw what the brands did. I've seen it. I've already seen it. This is why nobody can't talk me out of it, and this is why they keep growing. I've already know what it's going to become. You are trying to put yourself in the way of something that's bigger than both me and you. So if you want to put yourself in the way of that, if you trying to be a stepping stone, we're just gonna step over you.
Yeah, move you out of the way.
So as a young age, I got very intense visions about my life and things that are happening in the future, and I just acted on them with the most blind faith. And I was like, what can't I do?
Do you keep your visions and stuff close to you and not share it with people, or you just kind of like you're open to sharing it, what the vision is?
I share it with how I do things.
But you're not gonna say, I saw myself 5 years from now.
Now that jacket you got on is a vision.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is how it happens. The vision is in my head. I can't, if I describe it to people, nobody's going to believe me. I have to bring it out of my head into matter, into reality. Mm-hmm. Nobody believes it until it comes into reality. So it doesn't matter what I tell you is going to happen in the next 10 years. You're not going to believe it until you're standing in there.
Yeah, but then you got to wait the 10 years to stand in the midst of it.
That's them, not me. The whole time I walk with God, I'm relaxed. I'm I'm content. This is why I don't go crazy about success or failures, because if you look at the graph, the success and failures is, as it's going down, it's keep going up. Mm-hmm. It's like looking at the S&P 500. The success and failures, if I go down, I never go as low as I was before. I just go lower than I was at the moment. Did I shoot higher than my last highest point? So if you're looking at that over the time, it goes up. The graph goes up. So when people try to step in the way of it, you just left yourself here while the graph is still going up. You stopped here. Mm. This is where you decided to sever the relationship. I'm still going up. Mm. This is why. Oh, you want to be left here? Bye. Well, I don't really want to rock with you like that. Bye. I got 5 brothers. I don't need a friend. Word. Like, bro, I don't. You try to threaten me? Don't threaten me with a good time. I don't even like being out. So it's like, it's. I already see I've already been told where it's going to go, mm-hmm. and I just follow that, and God has protected me through all of it. That's why I leave for 15 years and come back. I've been protected the whole time. Mm-hmm. Now, when I came back, and whatever God anointed me with or He blessed me with, people tried to attack, but you can't attack what God created. Your arms are too short to box with God. You can't destroy this. He's put me in way worse situations that your words, it's not even penetrating the first level. Like you're not, you think you're getting to me, you're really not getting to me. You're really not bothering me. I really don't care. But I'm gonna make you feel like I do care, because I know that me caring has something to do with your feeling. But in all actuality, if you decide to walk out that door today and you decided I'm not going to talk to you no more, I'm not even going to remember this in 6 hours. Word. So I go off of the visions and I create based on the vision. And each vision, as you go and follow them, they compound on each other. So I had to create the Blood Moon collection to get to Haint.
Yes. Yeah.
I had to create Haint to get to VC. Mm-hmm. I had to create VC to get to Carolina Gold. Mm-hmm. Like it compounds on each other. You just have to just put your head down and just keep going. What people didn't understand the themes of the collections until we got to like the 3rd or 4th one. Mm-hmm. But what if I stopped at the 2nd one? Mm-hmm. That would have been my lack of faith wouldn't have saw it through. And now we make a state coat and it just blows up. God already told me back then that it's going to blow up. It's just not going to be fast. You just got to keep on going.
Got to keep on pushing.
And that's the same vision I had when I brought to everybody, like, hey, bro, we got to start this clothing brand, but it got to be all of us. That's why I was telling y'all, it has to be all of us or it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. That's what the vision had, all of us standing together. The vision wasn't just me standing there. It was all of us standing together. That's why I presented to you like that, presented to y'all like that. And then we went and took the coat, took the picture, and then we took the picture went viral. That's all for the vision that was already given. And me just with the faith, just listening to it and being like, let me recreate that. So that's why I really, like, in the middle of a pandemic, I'm not tripping, but I'm more trying to protect the sanctity, protect the psyche of my wife who is having our child. The importance of environment during pregnancy is so undervalued. You have to have a great environment for your significant other to bear a child. So I took on the burden of all of the stress on me to make sure that she was fine, because she's growing a life inside of her for all of us. So that's why you would see me pace and you would see me in the office and it seems like I'm moping and this, that, third. No, it's me internalizing the struggle and putting it on me so that I don't dispense it to all my brothers and my mom and my family and all of this stuff. It's me carrying that burden. That's what I decided to do.
I never saw it as that, but I saw the strength. You know, I mean, being there day by day, you know, you see the strength, and it was like, had no choice but to leak on to you, to myself about it. But, you know, I think when you look at your life and you see how you have grown and you see the success and the failures, and you, like, what advice would you give to somebody?
I would say about like life in general.
Just because you got a story of perseverance. Yeah. Because I think like you said earlier today, when people see the optics of it, they see the practice, the clothing line, the wife, the marriage, they see all of these things, but you know and I know the reality of it is like, dog, this has been some dark days.
Yeah, but there's been more light days than dark days.
It has, though it may seem, because you carry it well.
It's your interpretation of it, though.
Indeed. So
is you not having patience during a pandemic, that everybody's not having patience, a dark time, or is this a time for you to doggone where you have a grace period where you can actually make a move? Now you can interpret this. You can interpret this as a dark time. You can be like, damn, doom and gloom. This is about shit looking grim. You can look at it like that. Or you can be like, oh, I got a pause button where all these doctors got to pause. Everybody got to pause. Everybody got to figure out this, that, and the third. But while they're figuring it out, they're leaking what they have to figure out.
So in other words,
so you can learn from what everybody's trying to figure out. You don't have to just sit in your head.
Somebody hits a wall. Entrepreneur hits a wall. What advice would Sean give him to push through?
The wall is there for a reason. You're supposed to hit that wall. That wall is there for a reason. So when that wall comes and you hit it, the wall was there to stop you. So you need to first stop.
Stop. Okay.
Then you need to change your direction and make your adjustments and then keep going. But you first need to embrace that you hit that wall and stop. That's what I would tell any entrepreneur.
When you hit your walls, stop. You lose everything. You've been up, then everything dropped.
Yeah. Once you hit that wall was placed there for a reason. It was there to stop you. Because you don't know what was on the other end of that wall if you had kept going. It's there to stop you.
So you don't look at the wall as something negative.
No. I look at the wall as the lesson. What is this here for? Because it wasn't here before. So it's obviously here for a reason. So if it's here for a reason, then we need to figure out what that reason is.
I agree with you.
So you need to first hit it. It stopped me. Why did it stop me? What I need to stop for? What's going on that I might not be paying attention to that this is stopping me for? Take a look at the whole situation. If it's really nothing more than it just needed to be a speed bump before you crash out, then change your direction and keep going. But if it was there because if you kept going down this path, you would have hit imminent disaster, then that wall is actually there for protection. Now, if this business drops down and you lose everything from the business, there's a lesson in that fall. Most people just don't want to fall because they don't want people to see them falling. But you need to fall because there's a reason why you're falling. Where were you at so high that you're falling? So what was you building your thing up on? What was this built on? Where were you to where you can fall? Did you know you were walking uphill? Did you know you was free falling all the time and then your parachute just went out? Was you just riding the wave? You're falling for a reason. You need to look at, why am I falling, bro? Why am I down? Why am I out? Why is this not working out for me? And if you do an honest assessment of it and don't lie to yourself about it, the answer will reveal itself. But what you need to do when the answer reveals yourself is accept what it's revealing to you and make the adjustments. I don't have a problem with that.
Adjustments. Yeah.
Yo, bro, sometimes your wife will look at you in the face and be like, "Hey, man, you doing too much this, that, and the third, babe. You need to be out here with the kids more. You this, that, and the third. You can give. I'm trying to put the bread. She's telling you this for a reason. You need to stop. You need to be like,
I agree with that.
Man, she really don't complain about stuff like that, and she really kind of. I must be not doing this so bad that she has to say something.
Do you think the success and failures of businesses is because of sometimes they don't have the right support next to them?
Yes, a lot of times you don't have the right support system. You need a support system. You need in a business, you need a support system. I have a very good support system in my wife and my wife's family. Very good support system. I already got 5 brothers. So y'all boy already is a good support system. But then if my significant other is also one of the top number 2 supporters that I have. She's and everybody around her supports me. So if it's doom and gloom and it's dark and dreary, I have a system that allows me to be in that moment and things not fall. And then when I get back up in my head, I can keep on going. So if you don't have that,
you would tell someone to find that support system.
You probably need to find that before you even go into this.
Just find it before you go into it.
Yeah, because you need somebody to ride with you, man. You need people that ride with you because it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna be dark before it's light. And most of the time you're gonna be riding in the dark, bro. You ain't gonna see no light at the end of the tunnel. You just know this tunnel gotta end at some point. You're just gonna be riding, and then in the distance you're gonna see a dot, and you're gonna be like, that dot is gonna start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But what if you biking and you get tired? You're gonna have to stop in the darkness. You're gonna have to rest here.
The beauty is that you have that strong will in mind to push through. Because I just being next to you with everything from the moment we went to the bank for the first time, and finding the locations, and the pandemic and all that stuff. I it's just to see you push through makes me always be like, I know you don't like it, but like when I see somebody hit roadblocks or block, I'd be like, you might want to talk to Sean about that.
Yeah,
I know you hate it, but my intentions is pure in the sense that
it is
because
I ain't tripping on that.
Nobody knows this. People see the success, right? And then like you said, you do all this, but your number one mission is for the community.
Yes,
take your talents and your skills back, and you give it back to your community. To your community, so your community can flourish off the talents and skills that you have acquired over the time.
Yeah, because my community is what gave me the life to even go after this.
Yes.
They should benefit from it. I'm not a proponent of we giving our talent to other communities. That's a whole nother episode. But I'm not a proponent of, if I'm so smart and all my teachers been black the whole time, you gonna tell me when I get to a certain point a black woman can't teach me nothing?
Fair.
That don't make sense to me.
I agree.
You're not gonna tell me that boy's fast and all his coaches been black, but once he go D1, a black man can't teach him. That don't make sense to me.
I agree.
Also, when we leave the community, we have enough empirical data to know that when we exit our community, we seldom never come back. I have been subject to that. I am no different than anybody else.
Also, why do you think people don't come back?
Because it's too good out there, bro.
It is.
No, somebody offer you $1,000 a day to do a job because you're so good at this job. Or go home and build some shit from scratch. What do you think the average person gonna do? Mm-hmm. It is a no-brainer. You can't even be mad at them. Mm-hmm. Because that's how much the community come from lacks. That even the idea of building something within the community is almost an impossible feat. Like it's an impossible feat, and I repeat, impossible feat, and I repeat. So even me going back to Charleston, people was like, "Bro, this is an impossible feat. You're tripping. You might as well just take your thing and live a good life and find you a gated community, live in that gated community, raise your kids, put them through private school, then visit us on Christmas and Thanksgiving and one time in the summer." But you're gonna be straight.
Over the last 15 years, your message has never changed.
But let me tell you why my message never changed. Because the community has shown me love.
Absolutely.
So I was loved by the community. So I feel like it would be a disservice to the people that love me the most to leave them.
Absolutely. Like
that's me personally.
Yeah, because a lot of people will say people don't support black businesses and all that. And I honestly tell people, like, I can't say that.
I can't say that. I'll be a liar.
And I try to figure out
my patience is up.
Yeah, what is the disconnect when people say I had this business and people didn't support me and all that? And like you say, that's another episode for another time. But it's
nuanced.
So your message as an entrepreneur in the community is what again? Like, what would you want the people to know?
Let me see it like this. We are the first generation that has almost the psychological freedom to explore the world the way it needs to be explored. You ever had an Hispanic family or a Hispanic classmate, and this Hispanic classmate at graduation, their father or uncle comes to the graduation and they look like they just got off of work or something like that. But you know this classmate for the last 4 years. She been cool, but you really didn't know her situation. We get to graduation, every level, high school, college, doctorate, high school, college, master's, doctorate, I've seen this. I had the same student. They different people though. Their parent will come Asian. The parent will come to the graduation, and it looked like they just got off of work. And it looked like they just stopped them on a break and be like, "Can you come look at this and this, that, and the third?" And then the child go hug them and all this stuff. And you hugging them like, "Yeah, nice to meet y'all," and stuff like that. And you see that parent, that dad, he's working to make sure his daughter has a better life. We're that parent. We're not that girl. We're not that girl in that class. That's our children. We're that parent. We have to sacrifice on our end. Our lives are not going to be as glamorous as our kids, bro. We're not going to see the things that our children are going to see, way different things. But we have to establish a foundation. We have to put our heads down. We have to go through the pandemics. We have to go through the dark days of entrepreneurship. We have to go through the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of not having money and having money, and then finally getting to a point where you do have money and you can pass on that money to your child and they know what to do with the money. You are that parent. We have to sacrifice on our end with the time that we have. We are not going to be glamorous. Our job as a black community is we have to sacrifice our time to make sure someone behind us has a better time. If you don't want to sacrifice that time, you have to live with the consequences of that. Me personally, if I'm so much of a genius and I can go and become a chief resident at this big hospital in New York, you cannot tell me that my people cannot benefit from this. Now, what is it going to look like? I'm going to be riding around here in a Bentley or living like the rest of these doctors? I'm not going to be living like the rest of these doctors. I'm not going to exhibit the same thing as the rest of these doctors. I'm not going to be having my kids moving in the private schools and all of this stuff like the rest. No, my kid is going to be in the community. My kid is going to be growing up in the community, is going to be thriving in the community because my kid is a part of the community. I'm not doing this to separate myself from the community. I went through all of this education so that I can raise the level of the thought process in the community. And I have to sacrifice my time on this earth to make sure that happens, bro.
Talk on this, huh?
So my message is, if you ain't willing to make the sacrifice, get out the way. Just, if you want to go play, bro. If you want to make it about Tulum and all of this dumb shit, go to Tulum, bro. Get that out of there. I already got that out of my system, bro. I tell people all the time, bro, why you don't want to go to parties. I was in the club scene between 2004 and 2010. That's the height of clubs. That's the height of the crunk movement. That's the height of the booting up, and that is the peak of clubbing. I've never seen anything since that. I had no desire to be in that. I had all of the fun that I needed to have. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you settle down? Hey man, when you dealt with women and you find you a good one, bro, you know that they're rare, bro. That's how you know you need to settle down. You find you somebody who wants to be a wife, someone who wants to be a mother. It doesn't get any better than that. That is the life that we chose. You have to sacrifice on your end. We want it to look like something in someone else's life. But you don't understand. Peepaw is an immigrant. They're coming from long lineages of immigrants who sacrificed on their end. Because you never met Peepaw don't mean that they ain't had no sacrifices. You're just looking at, well, he got a better car than me now. Well, who sacrificed for you to not have a car? Because it looked like, my mama was born on a plantation, bro. My mama, our mama, was born on a plantation. And she got a master's degree. You think she got a master's degree and went off the plantation so we can be like, we don't need to go to school? That doesn't make sense. It's the only thing that got her off the plantation was education. So for me it'll be stupid as hell for me to take the lesson that she learned being born on a plantation and saying, I don't need that lesson because what I want, I don't want to sacrifice for anyone else for. She sacrificed for me. My grandma sacrificed for me. My grandfather sacrificed for me. My grandfather ain't never been on a vacation in his life. I've been on more than I can count. I've already had a better life than them. My other grandfather died at 43 years old after coming home from work, and he just went to sleep and never woke up. He never saw a vacation. He only worked until he was 40, and he died at 43. Which means my dad was fatherless before he was a teenager. So my dad gonna raise us up and all of this stuff, and you think he did all of that just so we can doggone do what? Kick our feet up? We not even in the place to kick our feet up. Talk. We're nowhere close to where we need to kick our feet up. I didn't mean to go on that rant, but I'm very passionate about us on our generation feeling like we got to make it look like everybody else's. We're dealing with generations of people who have generations of struggles who they've overcome to make the person next to you have a nice life. This girl in my class, the only reason why she's in this class is because her daddy works 12 hours a day. Her daddy ain't never gonna know peace. He's gonna die a hard-working man. But you know what he did? He got his daughter to get a doctorate. You know what his daughter gonna do? His daughter's never gonna even know that. Don't even have to sacrifice like that. She's gonna be a millionaire, which means his grandkids are gonna be fine. Who's gonna sacrifice like the grandfather?
And this is Sunday dinner. I hope this episode brought you a lot of food for thought.
Yeah.
This is your host, Trevor, signing out.
Dr. Mitch.
Appreciate y'all.